So it looks like I have some additional vaccinations that I have to do as a result of my first year visits. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. So, hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Chad Y. Royer, and the name of my channel is What's Up with Chad Y. Royer. I talk about my journey as a cancer patient slash cancer survivor. And this is what happened recently. So I had to, as a result of my stem cell transplant from battling multiple myeloma, there are some other tests that I have to go through every so often. And one of them happens to be the echocardiogram. So what happens, the body went through some damage when I had the cancer and the cancer treatments. And what's important is that my body gets restored as close as possible to its original condition before the cancer so that I can do my best to live a normal life, if that makes any sense. Now, I just want to cover uh, two and maybe three things. So, I recently had an echocardiogram. I had it before. And what the echocardiogram is supposed to do is just to check the overall function of the heart and make sure that there's nothing else that's going on as a result of my treatment and the cancer that I had. And while I'm at it, let me just go over a few a few things that may come across different, as I admit that I mistook an EKG for an echocardiogram in the beginning. There are a few differences. Um, I'll just say that the echocardiogram, as opposed to the EKG, is, well, you know, that's interesting because I'm looking something up, and even some known online sources has EKG versus echocardiogram. So, just for argument's sake, if you were to do a search, EKG for electrocardiogram focuses on the heart's electrical activity. The heart rhythm doesn't take as much, it may take a few minutes. Um, the echocardiogram, however, mine took about a half hour, but typically could be a little less or a little more than that. So we look for things like irregularity of heartbeat, any liquid in the heartbeat, if there is protrusion in the heart. In my case, overall maintenance, check for any changes in the size of the heart, anything wrong with the valves. Um, they use gel to put in certain areas, and I have to lie flat or semi flat on one side. And they use the gel with a device to try to measure activity that takes place in the heart. So that's the echocardiogram, and that's exactly what I had. Um, it kind of mirrors an ultrasound in a sense, but the important thing is that my heart so far is in great shape. And that has to be monitored because of my condition. So far, no flags here. I was also supposed to get additional immunization shots. Some are on schedule from the time I got the first shot, sometime in the fall. I'm looking at my schedule. I had them in the fall the first time. Recently had them again in February, and I was supposed to get them this month. They are pushing it back to next month, I guess, to give it more time for the vaccines to work inside the body, which means I'm going to have to get additional shots in my arm or arms. And in a way, I'm not really looking forward to it, but I am. And I'll just tell you, recently I felt that my immunity is being challenged. The cold is lingering, the development of symptoms, the phlegm, the coughing, it started to act up again. So I don't know where you are if you're watching this video in the eastern part of the United States or the central. The hot weather has lingered for some time, and then now it's gotten cold. So that abrupt change in the weather is bound to get somebody under the weather, figuratively speaking. And I kind of feel like it happened to me, or it's happening to me right now. I'm actually trying not to lose my voice. If you happen to notice, my voice is not really consistent right now. The pitch kind of changes a little bit, and I'm just trying to deal with that right now. It's rather uncomfortable. In fact, I was coughing and trying to speak out a lot more last night, but it was very uncomfortable. The immunizations that I have to take, one of them is the pneumonia. Okay, let's silence that. This is what happens when your phone gets hooked up to devices. Um, Switching gears. Pneumonia was one of them. The Tdap, which includes the tetanus, the HIV, the Haemophilus influenza, the polio, and the hepatitis B. Those are the five that I have to take. And I wish I could remember which ones took the bigger needle or the smaller needle. I can tell you, sometimes just looking at the needle makes it hurt a little more. But what I found is that the one that has to take longer to go in, that stings a bit. That really stings. I'm hoping that after I get these immunizations, that I'll be as close to 100% with my immunity. In fact, my doctors had told me that about a year from the time that I do the stem cell transplant and conclude it, I should have approached 100% of immunity. In my case, I kind of feel that there are some bumps and maybe some variances there, but for the most part, I do my best to try to avoid crowds, keep away from people who are coughing, and not expose myself to the elements too long. Well, that's the goal. For now, I await my next appointment, which will be coming up sooner than later, uh, to get the remaining vaccines. I hope I don't have any further complication, maybe some sore arms, maybe some fatigue. And I'll be looking forward to my first full summer being cancer free. That's going to be another journey for myself. So I thank you all for tuning in. Please don't forget to share with your folks. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notifications so that you know the next time that I have a video coming up. And another reminder that the month of April is Autism Awareness and Acceptance Month. As a father of a child with a disability, I hold this very near and dear. Please be more understanding of the issue that our folks have when it comes to taking care of our folks who have autism. They are people too, just like me and you. So for now, you take care and you be well.